everything that you have ever thought, created, um, experienced had two beginnings. It began twice. First in consciousness, and the second when it actually started in form. Everything that you have ever begun, everything that you have ever created began twice. First in consciousness and then in form. Today's talk on the arc, we're doing a series arc called The Sovereign Self. This is the fifth talk in the series, and today's talk is Consciousness First. Consciousness first, form follows. This is a fundamental spiritual principle that what we hold in consciousness becomes our world. And, you know, I was thinking about this topic and then going, well, shit, today I've been a little frustrated today, feeling a little pissy. So am I creating frustration and pissiness because I'm holding that in consciousness? Yes. And I think it's important to know that there's a tendency of the majority. This is what I believe and think. We're human. We're not perfect all the time. But the majority of our thinking, the majority of my thinking is typically about creation, about how am I observing the world. Sometimes I get pissy, but it's okay. We can give ourselves a break. Give ourselves a break if we're feeling a little down, if the wave goes down, right? It's okay. But we want the predominant number of our thoughts to be towards what we want to create, holding in consciousness what we want to experience. So a quick story, Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb, he made a declaration that he was going to create an electric light bulb. And when he did that, it was big news. 6 months later, after he made this declaration, a reporter went out to Asbury Park where his laboratory was. And the guy said, well, it's been 6 months. Have you created the electric light bulb? And he said, no, I've discovered 362 ways not to create an electric light bulb. But he said, but I'm confident that the 363rd way will be the one. I think it was 368. He created that. It began in consciousness. He held the idea of a light bulb long before it existed in physical reality. So today's teaching is that consciousness is the cause and the form is the effect. And we can look at this throughout the ages. I mean, Genesis in the Bible, in the beginning there was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word became flesh. Let's update that. Just update the Bible a little bit. I'm going to update the 10 Commandments next. Anyway, in the beginning, there was the Word. What's a word? A word is a vibration. A spoken word is a vibration. A word is a frequency. Even if the word is an idea, the idea is a mental energy. Reverend Michael teaches a mental unit of energy. So in the beginning, there was the Word, and the Word became flesh. In the beginning, there was an idea. In the beginning, there was a mental unit of energy, and that Word became flesh. It took form. Oh, I'm sorry. And the Word was with God, and then the Word became flesh. The Word was with God. Well, let's update this idea of God, because the old idea is some man in the sky that acts like Santa Claus, or as Reverend Michael says, someone who needs anger management therapy, right? So this idea of the mind of God, that which is infinite potential and infinite possibility. So in the beginning, there was an idea in the realm of infinite potential and infinite possibility. And that idea took form, became flesh, became real, became material. This is the part of the formula of creation. In Matthew chapter 9, verse 29, or book 9, verse 29, it is done to you as you believe. It is done to you as you believe. Our beliefs create our feelings, our beliefs, our thoughts create our reality. Reverend Michael teaches that what we're experiencing now is a condensation of previously held thought forms that took form. We can also see in the Bible Job, who realized his worst fears. He kept concentrating on what he didn't want to happen. He put so much energy towards what he didn't want to happen, he created it. We are creating consciously. We are creating constantly, whether it's conscious or not, we're creating. So we might as well use this creative power that we have to create consciously. In fact, that's what we want to do. We want to be conscious creators. When we change our thinking, we change our life. And, the Buddhists have also spoken about this. What we think, all the thoughts that arise with our thoughts, all that we are arise with our thoughts. All that we are arise with our thoughts. All that we are. Our thinking, not just our thinking, our feeling, the thinking that those thoughts create, the feeling that those thoughts create in us is part of the creative magic. The Hindus talk about faith as your being. Hi, Susan. Great to see you. The Hindus talk about, Maya is the mind stuff crystallized in the Hindu tradition. The world is mind stuff crystallized. So we have all of these ancient traditions that talk about how consciousness creates the form. Consciousness precedes form. And then we can look at quantum physics today and see the observer effect of quantum physics gives us a scientific proof that our observation of reality creates reality. Our observation of reality creates reality. In the double slit experiment, a seminal experiment a seminal experiment of quantum physics is that in the observation of a wave, it becomes a particle. This photon that can be a wave or a particle, when we observe it, we move it from possibility, which is the wave, to form, which is one possibility. Multiple possibilities to one possibility in the observation of it. And they redid this experiment. That was the double slit experiment, was done with subatomic particles. They just recently, I think in the last month, did the same experiment, but with atoms. And everything in this material world is created with atoms. So this phone, this screen that you're looking at, the trees outside, you, me, we're made up of atoms. And the experiment, the double slit experiment that was recently done with atoms shows the same thing, that in the physical world, our seeing creates our reality. Now, let's jump back to the Bible, because there's so much in the Bible that, does not resonate with me. I read a book called The Disappearance of the Universe, which is a really cool book. And in it, one of the things that I really liked about it, said, there's a lot of good stuff in the Bible. Some of it's the word of God. Some of it's the word of man. How do you know the difference? And in the book, they said, well, if it's not unconditional love, it's not the word of God. I liked that. If it's not unconditional love, it's not the word of God. So here's a reading from the Bible that I really like, Isaiah. Behold, I shall do a new thing. I shall create a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert, if ye have but eyes to see and ears to hear. What are these eyes that the prophet is talking about? What are these eyes to see? It is the way in which we see the world. And it's not just the way in which we see the world. It's the consciousness with which we observe the world that creates our world. Now, as I said at the top, don't be worried like, oh my God, if I have one bad thought, quote bad, one thought that isn't aiming towards unfoldment, and maybe a thought that's, more human, depressed, sad, feeling defeated, frustrated, skeptical, whatever. It's okay. It's okay. We want the majority of our thoughts to be tending towards creation. But if we have off thoughts, it's okay. We catch them. We don't try and bypass them. I'll be honest with you, today, I was feeling really bitchy. Like everything was annoying me. Like just like full on high annoyance. And we got to let ourselves be in those spaces sometimes. Like don't fight the low. The more I fight it, the more I get pulled down. But if I can just accept, okay, I'm feeling this way today. It's all right. It's human. How about not judging myself for it? it passes quickly or faster. So the observer effect, back to science, the observer effect that we say is like, what consciousness am I observing reality with? These pieces are so important to realize that we are the creators of our life experience. We create our life through our thoughts, through our seeing, and then our seeing through our actions, our deeds, our inspired action. So consciousness precedes form. Consciousness, we cannot have in the material world that which we do not wish to have in consciousness. So what are we holding in consciousness? How do we do this? Well, lots of ways to do this. Lots of ways to treat our minds, to lift our minds above confusion. Our spiritual practices on a daily basis, meditation, breath work, movement, journaling, all. And I put movement as a spiritual practice. It's part of the body temple, but it's also a spiritual practice to move the body, to keep this body temple fit and able to hold light. To be a light worker, light warrior, you got to hold more light. So we got to keep the body. That's, my body is a spiritual practice. Keeping my body in tune is a spiritual practice. So keeping my spiritual practice going, especially meditation, not guided meditation, not mantra meditation, not transcendental meditation. I'm talking straight up Vipassana, quiet, watching your breath, bringing the mind to the present, no future, no past, right here, right now. This is the way that we stay connected. The next piece, another recommendation for keeping our minds lifted above confusion, is a mantra. To create a mantra, we've talked about this before as well, that a mantra is a spiritual or a mind treatment that lifts the mind above confusion. It is a way to remind me that I am connected to all of life, that I'm worthy just by being me. I don't have to do anything to prove my worth, and that I'm powerful, that I'm the creator of my life experience. It helps shifts me. So using a mantra, one of the practices that I do daily is the oath of creation and materialization. I've shared this with you before, but I love this oath written by Reverend Cheryl Ward at Agape, and it goes, I accept and receive unexpected good, unexpected money, unexpected love, unexpected kindness, unexpected generosity, unexpected prosperity, unexpected offers, unexpected generosity coming in unexpected ways from unexpected places in my life and the life of others. I am constantly guided and boldly empowered to receive the lavish opulence and prosperity of the universe. I accept the principle that prosperity has already been given to me. My acceptance makes it real and opens the space for creation and materialization to rush in. I open wide the doors of my consciousness to receive and to give. It is done now. Through this oath of creation and materialization, all things are possible. I declare absolutely that I live in a friendly universe that is always providing for me. I feel it powerfully happening now. I open to receive more abundance and to give more abundance than I have ever experienced before. I'm so prosperous, I can afford anything I desire. Wait. I'm grateful for all that I already have, and I'm grateful for all that I'm ready to give. I keep myself lifted in high consciousness, no matter what the appearances are. God is all there is. I let the God times roll, and so it is. I say that every day. That's a way to keep myself lifted, keep myself above confusion, to remind myself to take an oath that I'm open to all the ways that good can come into my life. So my consciousness is good's coming into my life. Let me be open to all the ways that it can come into my life. Consciousness precedes form. As we work every day to move ourselves moment by moment, breath by breath, little by little. We don't have to be perfect. We got to just keep inching forward every day. We got to just keep moving forward every day, little by little. Just keep moving forward. Don't worry about where everybody else is at. Don't worry about how much further along they are or how far behind you feel. Doesn't matter. Nobody to compare yourself to, because there's no you. There's no other you. There's no other me. Never has been, never will be, isn't one on the face of the earth now. So there's nobody to compare myself to. So it doesn't matter if somebody's further behind than me or further ahead of me or to the left and the right, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Um, I'm looking at a comment right here from one of the other GNC from Canada says, oh, this is religious. Just came from one of those, and I can't have too much of it at once. But God time, I love your energy. I'm open to it, but still it doesn't does as much as needed. Anyway, I've been so stuck and stagnant. Sometimes I don't know the next steps to take. Okay. So GNC, I'll just tell you this. This GNC's on Instagram on YouTube. Here's what I'm going to tell you. She says, I'm open to it, but I still feel stuck. Well, there's a difference between just saying the words and feeling them. This is really important. This is really important, GNC. This is important because our emotional body has to be in alignment with the mental body. You could want to be open to all sorts of things, but if emotionally you're like, life sucks, everything's against me, and nothing ever happens good for me, that's what's more predominant. That's the feeling tone, because the universe doesn't hear you. The universe doesn't hear your words. The universe feels you. So uh, so the feeling is important. It's not the words. The words can generate a feeling, but if the emotional body is needs to be purged of negative thoughts or of limiting thinking, of fear, doubt, worry, lack, limitation, and not enoughness, then no matter what words you speak, if the emotional body's not in alignment, ain't moving forward. It's like two wheels, one's going that way, one's going this way, car ain't moving forward. You got to have all the wheels lined up together to go in the same direction. So when you ask, uh, first of all, I appreciate that you're having an issue or a trigger around my words, but I'm not a church person and I'm not a religious person. So, I use the word God, and it may mean something to somebody else, but to me, the word God means a field of infinite potential and infinite possibility, not a person, not a man in the sky, not Santa Claus, not a projection of human consciousness, but something that is extemporal and eternal and unchanging and is in back of everything, the one thing that all things partake of. So this is not religious, it's ancient. It's ancient esoteric wisdom. So that's where I'm coming from. And I appreciate what you're saying. If you want to connect, you can DM me and I'll share more with you. So this idea that consciousness precedes form, that it is our thinking and our seeing that create our reality, that we're not experiencing some fixed reality out there that we're just interpreting, but that we're actually experiencing external stimuli through the lens of our opinions and judgments, which create our reality. That what we are currently experiencing individually and collectively is a condensation of previous thought forms, feelings, perspectives, opinions, points of view that are now crystallized. This is ancient Hindu and Vedic teaching. This is ancient Buddhist teaching. This is ancient mystical teaching. They're all saying the same thing, and quantum physics now is backing it up, which is what I love. I love you too, Mama, Auntie Mama. So anyway, I'm getting caught up in comments over here. All right. So consciousness precedes form. This is the big takeaway. Watch what you're thinking. Ways that you can increase your thinking is meditation, breath work, movement, saying a mantra, finding an oath, being in sacred study, moving your mind, doing things that lift your mind above confusion on a daily basis. So one of the things that I can share with you is, a little affirmation that I am the cause, not the effect. You can affirm to yourself that I'm the cause, not the effect. I'm the creator of my life experience. What am I creating? As I align with my truth, the form follows. You can remind yourself that what you are believing is what you will be experiencing. Your beliefs create your experience. So if you're not digging what you're experiencing, examine your beliefs. All right. That's the talk today. Much gratitude. So grateful for you all. Dorota, it's beautiful to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a minute. I'm sending everyone lots of love and richest blessings. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a beautiful day.